Hey, welcome everyone here today to LUCID9 on the Kstorm Network. I'm your host, Cody Storm, as always, and here today we're going to be checking out episode 5 of Visual Novel Week, so I hope you guys all enjoy. I don't know really anything about LUCID9, other than that it's a free visual novel on Steam, and it's got positive reviews, so hopefully it'll be pretty good. So let's jump in and let's check it out, see what this is all about. Artwork seems pretty nice so far. Okay. I step back and examine my masterpiece. Perfect. My favorite color. I've always loved red. It's different, brilliant, vibrant, unusual, a happy anomaly. Just like me. Red isn't much for nature. Really only shows up in autumn, and even then, it's a dreary rust of nauseating cherry. And we just can't have that. Now, not when it deserves so much more. A whispering breeze filters through my thoughts, brushing against my skin with icy fingers. I allow myself a moment to pause, to relish, to admire, to welcome the fresh scent of freedom. This is what I live for. When I open my eyes, I spot a frail leaf dancing upon the backbone of the passing wind. Afflicting the world with its appalling shade of asparagus, I pluck it from its branch with the edge of my stained fingernails. Disgusting. How anyone can enjoy the color eludes me. A soft groan redirects my attention to my waiting masterpiece. It's lovely, really. Spread across the ground, face contorted with fear and twitching, cold fingers clutching at empty air. Not my best work, unfortunately. The canvas died much quicker than I had originally expected, even when I tried to carve a bit slower. Well, no matter, today shall be a palette for my paint. I make quick work of my new palette's chest, ignoring the twitching of post-mortem reflexes from its mutilated kneecaps. The sweet color of red, true crimson, pure scarlet, slinks down its pallid abdomen, licking at the blossoming turf below? The what? I dip my finger into the setting pool of blood. It's warm, sticky like syrup, or settling gelatin. The sweet scent wafts into my nostrils. Ah, it smells of iron, of rust, of all things sharp and beautiful. Now, a new canvas. I check my surroundings, evaluating the surfaces and textures and sizes and shapes of every object in sight. None are quite so satisfactory as human skin, with its elasticity, its porous absorption, its innately warm tint, but a substitute is required, so a substitute I must find. Presently, I realize that I'm still holding that eyesore of a leaf in my hand. Well, I suppose it will have to do. In one bold, fluid stroke, I swipe my paint across the leaf, the very essence of Van Gogh himself. Ah, yes, dear Vincent. The man cut off his own ear to send a message when words just didn't suffice. I always admired his style. I take a moment to appreciate the leaf's newfound radiance before searching for a proper display. Something like this deserves to be exhibited. I hang my canvas back on its branch. That's better. If only there was more of this color in the world. The unexpected interlude of my phone drives me out of my thoughts. The irritating thing just loves to ruin the climax. Hey, listen! Yes? Is it done? You're always in such a rush. Well? Yeah, it's done. I was just having a moment, okay? There's more where that came from. You interrupted me. You're the one who wanted to know when it was finished. A thrill leaps through my veins as my lips pull into a teeniest smile. Well, is it? Same time, same place as usual. You know the drill. I nearly clap my hands, but master myself for one final word. Understood. I cut the transmission and eagerly withdraw a small bottle from within my jacket. Only one pill left, but no matter. I'll be getting more soon enough. I pop the final capsule into my mouth, puncturing its skin with my teeth and rolling the bitter gel over my tongue. Now, this is the life. As a wave of euphoria sweeps through me, I turn to my handiwork, strolling out of the meadow. Check out the background, we're just tripping out. Things are getting all blurry. Aw man, pill popper. But today's fun is over, but tomorrow will hold just as many pleasures. Wow. We're playing like as a possible Dexter-type character, or just plain old Criminal Minds serial killer. And then now we have his teacher, Ma Yama Ishimoto. Huh? What? We're in school now? Are you for real? I sluggishly pull my head upward, fixing my eyes on the woman at the front of the classroom. Are you even listening? I hide an instinctive smirk. Technically, no. I've always found napping more appealing than relearning history that's been drilled into me since the age of 6. Not that I can actually say that. In all honesty, this teacher doesn't deserve that kind of callous response. Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Summarize the whole section we've been reviewing. I glanced at the touchscreen board mounted behind the teacher, quickly skimming over the graphics and typography hovering on its surface. History of Isamu, our glorious metropolis, beginning 2000 AD. Easy. Life was really boring for a while. We weren't in debt, we weren't at war, and we were basically doing nothing interesting. The teacher's lips pursed into a thin line as the class erupts into snickers. I feel the slightest tinge of regret and rein in my sarcasm. Then, in 2007, America entered a debt crisis that caused a worldwide financial crash. Japan was one of the countries most affected by this. Well, second to China. Man, America! Financial crash bringing the whole world down with ya. What are you doing? And why might that be? Because we were dumb enough to be partnered with. Whoa, dude. Well, you know, in all honesty, they would say that if that really did happen. I don't know. Doesn't seem like they're that great with their financials. She taps her fingers impatiently on her desk, her eyes narrowing into slits. Well, she asked me to summarize the chapter. She didn't ask me how. Anyway, our glorious government didn't handle the situation so hot, so we had a lovely depression with an all-time high of unemployment and crime. Good effort, gold star. The teacher waves her hands as the classroom roars with laughter. Right, that's enough then. I'll be needing to talk with you after class about your attitude, young man. Oh, naughty teacher after classroom discipline. Oh, shit. Elizabeth, perhaps you can salvage this explanation. Ooh, purple hair, I like that. She gestures a few seats to my right where my lavender-haired classmate sits. Her spine is straight as a ruler. Man, she's erect. I feel a current of disdain in the pit of my stomach as I lounge against my chair. Of course, Elizabeth is Shiro, class valedictorian, school poster child, and the area's golden girl. Nap time. I settle my head in my arms as Elizabeth leaps to her feet, smiling warmly. Certainly. During this time, Japan fell into chaos. Public demonstrations, often violent, occurred almost every day. Furthermore, political scandals regarding the national government kept spreading. The teacher relaxes at Elizabeth's textbook's recitation. She even shoots a quick glare in my direction, as if to say, see? Why can't you be more like Elizabeth? Eventually, local political powers became more effective than the centralized administration, hence why Isamu operates as smoothly as it does. Yes, thanks to the mayor's efforts. Perfectly done, Elizabeth. Elizabeth smiles primly and settles back into her seat, fixing her eyes on me with challenging disapproval. I only shrug my shoulders, sending her an easy smirk. Ooh, beauty and brains. She might be worthy enough to make my list. I glance to my left just in time to catch another classmate, Yahiko Akari, winking conspicuously at Elizabeth. She clearly ignores him. Well, that's Yahiko for you. I can't remember a day when he hasn't tried to flirt with some girl or another, nor can I remember a day where he wasn't flat out rejected either. Technically, he's my former roommate, which makes him my friend of 2 years. How close of a friend, you may ask? Well, that's up for debate. She managed to deflect my charms. I wonder how. Well, me too! No one can resist Yahiko Akari. Yahiko! Yahiko clamps his mouth shut at the teacher's strident command. She leans heavily against her desk, massaging her temples with her fingers. Alright, class, thanks to Elizabeth, we've seen where we come from. I'm sure you're all wondering what the point of this history recap was. Not really. No? We must study the past to understand the future. As such, it's imperative that the next topic be taken seriously. So, where do you all see yourselves 10 years from now? I'm barely able to stifle a snort. It's only, what, the second day of school? Sure, this is the third-year class. Sure, we're preparing for the college entrance exam. Does that mean that we have to know exactly what we want to do for the rest of our lives? No, doesn't. The teacher pointedly looks at me, a hard glint in her eye. Yamo Ishimoto, perhaps you'd like to get us started. I'm tempted to say no, thank you, but that would be pretty rude. I'll manage my parents' restaurant, I guess. The teacher's lips tighten ever so slightly. I know what she's thinking. No passion, no ambition. He will be a failure, this one. It'll pay the bills. What more can I ask for? Really? Dude, out of everything you could have picked, you picked a restaurant manager? Well, what would you suggest? Add a bunch more. Dude, like women and cars. And he criticizes me for a lack of imagination. Come on, it's 10 years. Anything can happen. The teacher shoots him a disapproving glare as his voice raises dramatically in volume. Ah, Yahiko, thank you for volunteering. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Yahiko beams, and I feel a sudden sense of dread. Here goes his dream, the one that I've heard no less than 200 times before. Well, teacher, I see myself with a Ferrari F500 under one arm, a Lamborghini Aventador 704 under the other, and a lot of beautiful women in between, fighting for the honorable privilege of bearing my children. The class stares at him. Yeah, I had people like him in classes before. Aw, heck, let's have some fun, I whisper to him. What about the mansion, dude? Right. Take all that and put it in front of a 200,000 square foot mansion, attended by a staff of 1,000 maids. And where is it located? Oh, it's in the Caribbean, on an island. A man-made island specifically constructed just for me with my name laser engraved into the hills, so that every plane that flies by sees that it belongs to... That's quite enough, Yahiko. Thank you for your input. You can sit down now. Clearly, she doesn't believe in his dream. Actually, I don't think anyone except Yahiko believes in his dream. Then again, Yahiko has enough belief to make up for everyone else. Now, Yumeko, what about you? As the rest of the class drone on about joining some kind of mega corporation like Leminskate or Way Forward Pharmaceuticals, I lean closer to Yahiko. You forgot some things. I did? The yacht, the walk-in closet just for designer shoes, the private jet, a second mansion in Tahiti? Oh crap! I did! Teacher, wait! Fortunately for the teacher, the school bell rings before he can grab her attention. My classmates immediately shove their belongings into their bags and bolt for the door. Meanwhile, Yahiko heads straight for the teacher's desk, eyes lit with excitement, as he gabbers on and on about his yacht and his designer shoes and his private jet at his second mansion in Tahiti. A restaurant manager, huh? Who's this? Oh. And then there's Elizabeth, slipping into Yahiko's now vacant seat. She shifts her backpack's weight to the desk and raises a patronizing eyebrow at me. Well, sorry for being realistic, Miss CEO of a mega corporation. Sorry that I actually have ambition, Mr. Manager of the family restaurant. What? Should I have talked about having a mansion and cars and maids on my own personal island? You didn't even shoot for a restaurant not owned by your parents. Talk about riding coattails. They'll kick the bucket one day. I might as well be the one who takes over. Have some respect, would you? Those are your parents. I snicker at that. Respect me? I flash her a bright, overly friendly smile. See you around, Lizzie. She fumes, but forces herself to take a deep breath until her expression stills. Unfortunately. Huh, that was a pretty nice comeback. I'll give her that much. Beth, still up for lunch? A student slides through the door with a warm smile and a wave. I recognize her as a girl who's always with Elizabeth. Don't know much else about her. In the blink of an eye, Elizabeth's face softens into a friendly grin. I'll be right there. Yep, just in case it wasn't clear enough, her hate is directed exclusively at me. She's the Queen of Angels to everyone else around here. Particularly the girls, who I guess is the closest thing she has to a friend. Well, Ishimoto, it's been a pleasure. Well, I bet it has. She lifts her chin and swiftly walks out the door, nearly bumping into a startled Yahiko on the way out. As a train of second years, probably her groupies, pull her away, Yahiko slips in next to me. Why did she talk to you? Not me, the great Yahiko Akari. Maybe because there's a limit to how many brain cells she's willing to sacrifice for conversation. Beats me, she's been doing that for a while now. Really? We were in the same class last year. Really? I'm not surprised that you just learned about this. Then again, to be fair, I don't talk to Hiko much about my personal life. Yeah, something like that. It's not that important anyhow. Yahiko evaluates me for a second with an unusually stoic expression, but quickly shakes it off. Shake it off. So, what'd you think about my dream earlier? This again? On second thought, maybe we shouldn't keep talking about Elizabeth. Same as the other 200 times you've told me. It's been too hot. Has it really? 203 to be exact, Hiko. Oh. Well. So, that means you think it's amazing, right? Totally. I think it's the best dream in history. And it's original and realistic. Thanks, dude. But I don't think you're aiming high enough. Huh? What should I add then? Aim for the moon. He gasps as if it's the best idea ever. The poor soul. Forget Tahiti, a mansion on the moon? You'd be the first. And probably the last. Yes, think about the possibilities. No one's ever set foot on the moon. Imagine how famous I'll be if I build a mansion there. No one's ever set foot? Are you serious right now? Either I stepped into the conversation at the wrong time, or someone just came up with a really stupid idea. Enter Ryu Hiyata, my friend of 10 years. Technically, she's a grade lower than me, but it doesn't stop us from hanging out. She's stuck with me through thick and thin. She probably knows me better than I know myself. Besides her stands Masato Kurogani, heartily in both build and personality. If I had to describe him in one word, I'd use fire. Easily antagonized, hard to put out, and blazes every obstacle out of his way. Afternoon, little daisies. What's going on here? I'm gonna build a vacation home on the moon! Somehow, I can't say I'm surprised. I know, right? I'm brilliant. Think, the first man on the moon, and the first man to build a mansion on it, too! You're so bright, you're blinding me. What have you been telling him now? That a giant leap for him is a small step for mankind? She has to think about that for a moment, but I'm rewarded with a smirk. Clever. Very clever. I know. Look, if you kids are done yapping, Yama and I gotta head to track. What? I didn't think Yama was joining again this year. Of course he is. This is news to me. It doesn't seem like a good idea, considering he only went to one practice last year and ditched the rest of them. Well, he ain't ditching this year. Ain't that right, man? Well, now that you mention it... What's that? You guys didn't even win last year, Masato. No need to make a big deal of it. Masato's eyes flare with the instinctual need to prove the worthiness of track. We're winning this year. I got a secret weapon. Really? Masato lights up at Ryu's apparent interest. See, we lost last year because we didn't have good names. This year, I got a great one. He paused for dramatic effect. Marvelous Mesa! Bum bum. No one's got a response for that. Well, at the very least, this is a pretty good opportunity to joke around. Wow, that's fantastic. And I'll call myself Speed of Light Mountain Destroyer. Whoa, that's a pretty sick name. The hell? You should rename yourself the Streaking Shadow Dark Eradicator. Then we'll be unstoppable. Ain't no way I'm going with that. Yeah, he isn't great with sarcasm. I smirk at him, but before I can elaborate, the PA above me crackles to life. The club fair is officially open in the courtyard. Feel free to drop by and check out some of what you fellow students have planned. I don't know how to do a PA voice. Already at just the second day, maybe the school is just making everything happen faster this year. I don't really see why Osamu Imperial Boarding Academy has always done well for itself. Even throughout the recession, there's need to change things now. Well, it's club time. Let's go take a look. No thanks, I'd rather not be blacklisted. What does that mean? It means that she's afraid to go with you. You'll outshine her so much that the clubs won't be interested in her. Oh! Ryu glares at me, but I only wink back. Well, you shouldn't worry about that, my dear Ryu. I'm sure I could use my substantial sphere of influence to get you a good spot, too. I'm already in a club, you know, the drama club. Oh, right. She's been in the drama club since last year, and somehow he's still forgotten. Then, what was Yamada talking about? Nothing, just acting like an idiot, as usual. Well, you know what they say, like attracts like. Ryu elbows me sharply in the ribs, but her lips are pulling up at the corners. They also say opposites attract. Yeah, and we know which one you are. She slaps me playfully on the arm as Masato and Yahiko watch with blank stares. Did I just miss something? Yeah, dude, she wants my D. No more than you usually do. Yahiko frowns for a moment, but eventually shrugs the exchange off. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need to find myself a club to grace with my innumerable talents. They're innumerable. Alright. So, without further ado, I bid thee farewell. He turns with a flourish of his hand, but Ryu calls after him. You know that we'll be there too, right? What? Huh? Club recruitment day? All the clubs will be here, including track and drama. Oh. Well, I'll see you guys there then. He whisks out the door. You're coming to the track booth, yeah? Me? Like I'm track's poster child? In fact, I'd probably just scare away potential recruits. Don't think like that. You can be a great asset, man. You just gotta believe. Believe it. AKA every movie theme ever. We exchange snickers, but Masato grabs my arm. Really, man? You coming? Whoa, he's getting all up in my face now. Surprised by his sudden intensity, I contemplate it for a moment. It doesn't take long. Sure. Why not? Really? Not like I have anything else to do. Masato grins, releasing my arm. Good. I gotta go set up, but I'm expecting you there. He dashes out the room after a quick wave to Ryu. She smiles back and promptly turns to me. Have you figured out why he wants you in track so badly? Not a clue. She hesitates for a moment and glances around the room. You know, you could join drama club instead. It could be a valid excuse for Masato. I think he just asked why I joined a different club when I could have joined track. But still, I think you'd really like it. Honestly, it sounds like it could be pretty fun. Ryu seems to enjoy it. She often claims that it's just like when we played make-believe as kids. And make-believe is one of the few things that I don't mind doing. But it's so much work. It's no more work than track, idiot. Besides, it could be really fun, the two of us. Well, I'll take your word for it. She rolls her eyes and shoulders. Oh, and shoulders her bag. Well, fine, Mr. Grumpy Pants. Hey, I'm Grump. I'm not so Grump. And we're the Grumpy Pants. Some of us have club booths to manage, so I'm gonna get going. I'll go with you. We walk to the step to the door, almost into freedom, and then with the strident voice, the teacher rips through the air. Ahem, Yemo Ishimoto. Surely you didn't expect to escape so easily. Ah, yes, my attitude problems. I turn to Ryu, suddenly pleading. Bail me out? Not a chance. What? What? It builds character. I have plenty of character. Come on, throw up a distraction for me. I throw into a shameless dose of puppy dog eyes. She only pokes my forehead, sticking her tongue out. You win some, you lose some. Just be glad it's with the teacher instead of the police. She darts off as I call, faltering after her. But at least the police wouldn't bore me to tears. Well, what was that, young man? I turned to find the teacher hovering right behind me. Whoops. Nothing. Great weather we're having. Eh? She doesn't seem amused. At what point? It's the second day of school, unless she's referring to teaching me last year. Come to think of it, yeah. That's highly possible. It's clear that detention is doing nothing for your toxic behavior. Well, yeah, because I can nap in detention. Therefore, I've taken the liberty of recommending you for therapeutic mentorship, which will take place on campus at the discretion of our dorm manager. Requirements will be 1 hour, 5 days a week. The mentor will need to sign off on every visit. The what now? Are you scheduling brainwashing sessions for me? Excuse me? You may have some other ideas, young man, but civility and respect are integral cornerstones of our modern society. Oh my god, that was hard to read. If it does result in scrubbing away some of that arrogance of yours, then I'd say good riddance. I'm shocked by this unusual passionate outburst from her. She slows her breath, shaking as she jabs a book and envelope at me. Take this, Mr. Ryota's office. You know where it is. A tiny pinch of the tension releases. Mr. Ryota's the mentor. Maybe this won't be so bad then. I give the book a once-over. The cover is somber and 100% boring. Block letters proclaim primates of the 21st century. 100 plus correctional techniques to improve the mindset of any underdeveloped adolescent. Well, gee, I'm honored. Take it. I take it. Goodbye, Yama Ishimoto. She flourishes out of the classroom, clearly fed up with my shenanigans. Wordlessly, I turn and head down the corridor. Guess someone's a little touchy. Not that I can blame her. If I had a student like me, I'd hate him too. I tromp down the stairs to the first door and stop before the door at the edge of the hallway, bearing a sign J. Ryota, dorm manager. I rap sharply on the wood 3 times. Mr. Ryota? What is it? Nuclear war? What? No? Nah, don't feel like opening the door for anything less important. I could open the door myself. Locked it. Don't bother. I press my ear against the door, listening keenly. There it is. Action-packed orchestra strings, just barely bleeding through the wood. Faint clanging of swords and shields. Are you in a clan war, Mr. Ryota? Is he playing a video game? This just got awkward. Bah! A moment later, the door clocks and opens. I slip inside the room, holding back a smile. The office is minimalistic in its furnishings, but fairly welcoming. Warm light encompasses the rooms, highlighting the comfortable chairs arranged around a coffee table that bears a bowl of potato chips. I love potato chips. Well, this is going to wrap up episode 5, I believe, of Visual Novel Week. Thank you all very much for tuning into the Kstorm Network. This has been LUCID9. I hope you guys have all enjoyed. This is where I'm going to cut it here. If you guys are interested in seeing more, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you're interested in playing the game yourself and checking out more of the story, this game is free on Steam right now. So go and get it for yourself. And until tomorrow for the next episode, thank you very much, and I hope you guys have been enjoying Visual Novel Week.
I only want a proper introduction. Maybe all it takes is a baseball bat to shoot.